Okay. Down the rabbit hole. What could be down here? Can't move, fucker. God, you guys are fucking dicks. Shit. Move, Isaac, you fucking cunt. Burner. Yeah. How do you like that, you fucking... Who directed the thing? Clive Barker, you fucking Clive Barker ripoffs. Fucking pieces of shit. Yeah. How you like that? Fucking smart boy. Smart boy hours. Although now I'm kind of running low on ammo. There is a store, though, and there is a bench. Cool. It is Clive Barker, isn't it? No, it's not Clive Barker, is it? John Carpenter, fuck! My bad. All I remembered was that it ended with ER. The horror enthusiast in me is kicking me right now. It's a bonk moment. No, don't sell those. I need those. Okay. But my inventory is fucked. Okay, alright, you know what? Here's what we do. We sell this thing. We don't need it. We sell the force gun ammo. We don't need it. We sell that stuff because we don't need that much of it, but we do need it, just not that degree of it. We got 4 empty slots. I think we're doing quite good. ER Elden Ring? Eventually, Sunshine. Eventually. I've played through Elden Ring once before, but it has been a very good minute, and I'm trying to forget as much of the game as I possibly can before Shadow of the Erd Tree drops. So we will do Elden Ring eventually. My next RPG is going to be Wolong Fallen Dynasty. And I've played through that as well. Though I wish I hadn't, and I wish I could forget it. Also, I'm hoping that was a ruby conductor that I just picked up, because if it is, I'm gonna have a field day with this shop right here. It was a ruby conductor. Hell yeah. Fucking 10,000 credits. That's a lot of money right there. Oh, we have a power node too, don't we? No, we don't. Damn it. Thought we had a power node. Shit. It's okay. That's fine. I don't need your power nodes. I don't need your sympathy. I just need any spare rounds that you'd be willing to give me. Yeah, and any credits you'd be willing to give me as well. So we outrun the regenerator. That's good. There's a save point. That's bad. Was that Wolong Shade? Yes, it was. Wolong's an okay game. It's just not a great game. It's not spectacular. May I ask where the fuck you came from, sir? Since you played the RE games, how do you like the remakes? The remakes are great. The only thing I have about 2 that I really don't like is the movement. The movement in that game fucking sucks. Not being able to avoid damage in certain conditions and circumstances kind of pisses me off in that game. RE3 remake is a heaping pile of shit, and I wish it was never conjured by man. And it was such a disservice to the original game that I don't even want to acknowledge the fact that it exists. The RE4 remake was fucking spectacular. I have very minor gripes with it, but it was a very good game. What other remakes of Resident Evil are there? There's 4, 3, 2, and Resident Evil 1 remake, like 2002, is one of my favorite games of all time, if not one of my favorite survival horrors ever made. Ever try Stranger of Paradise? Yes, I have finished it. I've beaten it. I got to Bahamut difficulty and I fought Bahamut, but I didn't do any of the rest of the DLC because I got to this guy in blue armor with like this light sword and he kept kicking my ass. And I did not have a very good build made, and I really, really, really didn't want to farm for one. Is this a hallway that, yeah, I was going to say I just came from? Sorry, I get really turned around in this game. So there's a door over there that's blocked by chairs, but it says open, so I assume we go through there at some point. There's also this, and it seems like this is openable, but it seems like we have to destroy this pulsating thing to be able to do that. And this pulsating thing is coming from over here, but there's no node to destroy, so I'm assuming that we have to get this power supply from somewhere or another. Oh, I can just pull this shit out of the way. Okay. I didn't expect to be able to actually just do that. I did not want to heal right there, Isaac. I was trying to use telekinesis, you fucking dick. Oh, that looks safe. And I'm assuming we have to wade through the green fucking toxic hazard to be able to get the power supply, don't we? The zombies in RE2 Remake are supervillains? Yeah. I also don't like the weird congealy, jello-y effects they use. Those kinda suck. Oh, is that one of those fucking wall guys that insta-kills me? It is. I don't like those guys. Those guys don't make any sense. Those guys piss me off. I don't know how to get around them, so I might die here a couple times. While I figure it out, because this game is full of trial and error nonsense bullshit. So my idea is I'm going to clean this room out of supplies, and then I'm going to go back and hit the save point. And then we'll come back and deal with the stupid wall men. And figure them out. Because I don't know how they expect me to get past this shit, honestly. Okay, there's an oxygen tank. Let me hit that. Okay, while we have the opportunity, let's go back through the door. Let's go hit my save point, and then we'll come back through. Then we'll deal with this. Okay, I still got stasis, so I gotta keep that in mind. But last time I tried to use stasis on them, it didn't seem to work efficiently. Like, it worked, like it got me through the door, but I don't understand what conditions allowed me to bypass them, because I tried to do it one time doing the exact same thing, and I died instantly. And then I did it a second time, and I was able to get past it, so I don't know. As a heads up for SOP, you can set the game to extra mode, which gives you infinite MP and stamina. And then you can use the Liberator job ability to prevent death. It's like God mode. I don't know, I don't really, like, I'm not really that well versed in Stranger of Paradise. I know you saw me play a little bit of Neo, but I assure you, like, I'm much better at that game. My issue with Neo is, like, I love how technical the game is, because that's what gives it the combat depth that it has. And it is the most insane fucking action RPG game that I've ever experienced before. But the inputs in that game are so fucking wacky that, like, sometimes they don't go through correctly. And, like, if the inputs don't channel correctly, then you can't chain together what you're trying to chain together. You know what I mean? So, like, Neo is the only game I think I've ever played where, like, there's times where it feels tight and constrictive and cohesive, and then there's other times where it feels loose and janky all over, and, like, nothing is working right, and it, like, doesn't feel cohesive. And I've never experienced a game like that. Hated Mr. X and the Lickers in that game. Lickers zoom across hallways, and Mr. X does not interact well with them, unlike zombies. Yeah, Mr. X will push the zombies out of his way, but he doesn't give a shit about the Lickers. And if if Mr. X is in the hallway and the Lickers are there at the same time, you are basically just fucked. And the Lickers in that game do a lot of fucking damage. Like, they did in the original, but, like, they do so even more in the remake. That really sucks. I really wanted whatever that was, but I didn't get it. So I didn't expect it to be there when I ran past. Okay, did that kill Mr. Man? It did not kill Mr. Man. Okay. Okay, now I got the thing. Alright, let's get the fuck back out of here. This room was actually not as deadly as I originally anticipated. I thought it was going to be a hell of a lot worse than that. That's good news. But it's not over yet. Case in point. Okay, he's really far away. Good. Safe. Nice. Okay. I'll deal with all the evil in a minute. Just want to make sure I get the save point in. Oh, fuck you. God damn it, Dead Space. God fucking damn it, Dead Space. I thought there was a glowing object over here. Look at that. Oh, I need a battery. Son of a bitch. Forgot I needed a battery. Took me hundreds of hours to learn how to be savage at Neo. Eventually, you just learn the quirks without realizing it. Well, it's like... Honestly, like, if you go to my YouTube... Like, back when I was, like, really, really proficient at Neo, like, I've done some decent shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm nowhere near as technical or experienced as a player as, like, Poofer Llama or, like, Brilliant Suns or, like, White Goat or, like, any of those people. But, like, I'm respectable to my own degree, where I can, like, casually play on, like, a lesser level well. You know what I mean? But... Have I played Alien Isolation? No, but I've watched my friends play it, and they say it's very good. But I'm not really into games like that. I'm not into survival horrors where you have to, like, run and hide yourself in a locker, otherwise you get insta-killed. Like, I don't really care about shit like that. It's not really my cup of tea, if I'm being honest. Where's my power supply? You know, I was backing up for a reason, because I wanted to shut that door, because I heard something fucking evil in it. Oh, I see. Isaac, come on, man. That's right, because I upgraded the plasma cutter and got that ability, didn't I? Got a power node, that's cool. Okay, so am I to assume that I have to come back into this room to be able to pick up the power supply for the door? Contact energy. Just called those games horror, like another subgenre? Yeah, like, I don't think they deserve to be intermixed with survival horror. Because survival horror games actually have substance, and, like, those just feel, like, really one-dimensional and stupid to me. Which is why I've never played shit like Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's kind of a meme here that I rag on that game almost fucking constantly. Okay, I could go for more plasma cutter shit, but I think the plasma cutter is honestly about as good as it's gonna get. I think I've given the plasma cutter more than enough love. See, the only thing I really want to go for the flamethrower is the damage upgrades. Let's go for the contact beam, actually. PFD, what is that? Primary fire damage? That'd be the shotgun, right? What can I do for the pulse rifle? I could get it a damage upgrade. But I don't have any of the specials. What's up, Kai? Yeah, Metallics is very, 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 very fucking quality at Neo. Thank you for the shout out, by the way, Kai. Like, I don't really do mod stuff, so, like, I'm glad he's here to do it for me. What's up, by the way? I think we're coming up upon the end of Dead Space, if I can figure out what I'm doing and get my shit together here and stop running around the same 5 fucking rooms. I still have plenty of plasma cutter rounds, so that's good news. Been here just working on stuff. Yeah, guys, if you're really into Neo, like, if you like playing Neo a lot, Metallics has a lot of really crazy tech in that game. So, like, with Neo, like I was saying before, Neo is one of the most technical games I've ever played, and I've been screwing around with the inputs, trying to figure out what conditions allow fluidity for other inputs to go through correctly, and I haven't been able to find a reliable way of doing that. And, like, Neo being really hyper-technical is my favorite thing about it, and also its worst enemy. Because, like, don't get me wrong, the game is very complicated and hard to understand at first because there's just so fucking much to it. But after you learn what you're doing with it, it's really not all that bad. But the technicality of the inputs not working the way you want them to, or the way you expect them to work, really, like, you can't really notice it if you're a casual player, but if you're, like, more of an intermediate to, like, skilled player, I think it becomes more noticeable. And I feel like a lot of the Neo community either just doesn't acknowledge that it happens, or they don't get the same issue I do, or like I sound like a crazy person. Like, I don't really know, honestly, but like, I take up certain issues with the game that other people apparently don't seem to have, and I don't know why I only get them. There's my battery. That explains the big muscly evil dickhead, doesn't it? It's like a precision action game, hard to explain without playing it yourself. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you've not played the game, it's easy to sit there as like an observer or like a bystander and not understand how Neo works and then just think the player's bad at it. But like, if you can't experience like what they're experiencing hands-on, then you don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and it just sounds like they're spouting a whole bunch of gibberish bullshit. What's an issue with Neo that you have? Mainly the input consistency. Like, if I try to chain two skills together, like, let's say I go from, like, Heavenly Chain to Tiger Bite to Double Kick or whatever, it doesn't allow me to fluidly do that. So, like, the way the inputs work don't always seem like they seamlessly connect. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if you've run into that before, but, like, no matter what platform I play Neo on, I have that same fucking issue. And I thought it might just be me, but, like, I honestly don't think it is, because, like, I know how Neo works. Like, it's like a fighting game. Like, if you were to play a 2D fighting game like Tekken or Mortal Kombat or something like that, and you have to do down left, diagonal right, and then square to do this combo, that's kind of how Neo works. And, like, I know the difference between all the stances, where, like, light you have more mobility, but your defense is not very high, and, like, you can get caught out of stuff very easily. Mid stance gives you a, comfortable frame of position to be able to go to high or low depending on what the situation calls for, and you have like decent defense, and then like high stance is for all your hard-hitting skills, but like your recovery from dodging sucks ass. Like, I know how Neo works. Like, I know how the game is structured. I have over 2,000 hours in it. Like, I can confidently say I know how the fuck Neo works. It's just, like, I don't know why I'm experiencing the input shit that I'm experiencing in that game, because nobody else seems to have it. And I'm not entirely sure why. And, like, whenever I play Neo, this is kind of what got me out of streaming Neo to begin with, because every time I play that game and I bitch about it, it sounds like I'm making excuses. But, like, if you watch me play Neo, and, like, I do something dumb and I get fucked for it, I'm like, yeah, that's my fault. I can understand what I did wrong there. Or, like, if I get one-shot by something, I'm like, alright, I expect that. Like, bullshit like that. Like, I'm aware of my shortcomings when I make them, like, in the moment. And then there's other times where I'm like, I don't understand why the game did what it did there. Like, where I'm just, like, in utter disbelief that, like, the result that I got was the result that I got. Not exactly what I had in mind, Isaac, but okay. There's a store up here. It's cool. It's nice. There's also a save point. That's disconcerting. I don't like it when they put both. It's fine when they put one, but I don't like it when they put both. Okay, this tentacle is blocking some items over there, so that leads me to believe that we end up destroying this giant mandrill too. So let me drop a save real quick. But yeah, like, it's hard to explain. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm very fluid with Tampa. I'm very familiar with the weapon and how the weapon works. And, like, okay, so, like, with how technical Neo is, like, I started playing the PC version, right, to test the input bullshit. The hitboxes on the PC version are not the same as they are on console. They're absolutely not the same as they are on console. It's fucking totally random. It's super, super weird. Somebody told me it was something to do with FPS. And, like, I don't know if that's the case or not, because I'm not technically knowledgeable enough to be able to determine automatically what the problem is. But, like, after playing Neo for so long, like, having a lot of hours in it, you build a certain amount of muscle memory, right? And when that muscle memory betrays you, it kind of rubs you the wrong way, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I know that's not how that works. I think the whole triangle skills ruin skill chaining with no flex. If you try to use an active skill and then key pulse and do a block skill, the game kind of holds your input, prevents it from working. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, stuff like that, I feel like could be refined a little bit and make the game more fluid. That is honestly my only complication with Neo 2. Neo 1 is nowhere near as fluid as Neo 2 is. And a lot of the construction is more simplistic and more, juvenile. Like, it's just not mature yet. Because it's, like, the first game. And the balancing in Neo 1 is fucking atrocious. Other than that, I think Neo 1 is fine. That's not good. What? Is that guy still alive? How? Get the fuck out of here. So much for that fucking plasma cutter upgrade. I thought I could, like, make things prone or immobile or whatever if I stomped on them when I had the plasma cutter out, but I guess not. Okay, that wasn't all that bad. Really wish I could have saved the health item that I had to rinse there for no fucking reason, but alright. I didn't know those guys shot projectiles. I think my last introduction with them was like very, very early on in the game, and I remember saying I have to keep in mind that those guys spit projectiles. And I did for like the longest time, but because I haven't seen them in a long time. See, like, I'm sorry, what the fuck is the point of the plasma cutter upgrade that I got that makes them go prone if I use a melee attack? Or does it only mean like a punch? Maybe it only means a punch. I'll have to test that. I usually don't get too close to the necromorphs to be able to test it. I went from PS4 to PS5 version of Neo 2, and they are slightly different, odd enough, so yeah, I believe it. Yeah, like, I installed the PS5 version of Neo 2 numerous times. I'm not even kidding you, I went and tried to fight Bokuden, and he did a sword key when he was on the ground, like, out of a grapple. Like, I went super apeshit on that motherfucker, and I hit him with a grapple, and he was on the ground, and while he was on the ground, not even in recovery, he did sword key and killed me instantly, because he ran me out of key, because I was low on key for my combo that I had done. And I was like, yeah, fuck this game. Like, no. Like, you cannot do sword key on the ground. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck what universe you come from. I don't care if you're a developer for Team Ninja, I will tell you you are full of shit. Like, you cannot do sword key while you're on the ground. First of all, that's a high stance katana skill, and I don't even use katana. Like, that's not how the fucking game works. You can't just do bullshit like that. The debuffs in Neo 1 are torture. It's like the bosses are using the Brick Breaker build against you. Yeah, like, literally everything. Like, they will break your buffs. They have sloth, they slow you down, they break anything you have going. If you try to rely on Suzaku for an instant revive, if they happen to land one hit on you or whatever, they steal your Emeritus, so, like, your spirit doesn't proc. Like, they do all sorts of evil bullshit in that game. But, like, the balancing in Neo 1 is fucking evil. It's like some of the most evil shit I've ever seen in my life.